Welcome back to the Body for Minds podcast, the place where ambitious mums come to reconnect with themselves, create space in their lives, and learn how to move through the world with more ease and alignment. I'm Katherina, and today I want to talk about another aspect of mental load during the holiday season. And I'm saying another aspect because I've talked about mental load during the holiday season a lot already. So if you tune in regularly, you know I've talked quite a bit about mental load and the nervous system, how they are connected and how challenging it becomes to stay regulated in the end of year rush especially. Then we went on to talk about the conversations we have over the holiday season and how they can feel even more triggering at a time when we're already stretched thinner than usual, or when we already feel stretched thinner than usual. It's in these moments that so many of us slip into autopilot, reacting instead of responding, rushing instead of grounding, and emotions tend to run hotter too. And as always, I've tried to include some concrete strategies for you to stay regulated or to come back to a regulated state, and to be kind and compassionate with yourself despite the added pressure of the season. But in all that struggle, you may have heard your partner or somebody else say something like, well, just don't do it then, or don't bake the cookies if it's too much. So in this episode, I want to explore this part more deeply, because not only does it add to the pain of the unshared mental load, it also shifts the focus of the problem. And when the focus shifts, the solution can suddenly feel even less attainable. But let's dive deeper into what I mean by that. The elephant in the room is not Christmas. It's not the cookies. It's not the holiday cards, the school concerts, or the gift coordination. The real issue is that everything else wasn't shared equally to begin with the rest of the year. The holiday season simply magnifies what is already imbalanced. It shines a bright light on the invisible labor you carry all year long. So yes, we absolutely need to talk about this. But naming the issue alone doesn't give you the space you need right now. There's a type of advice many mums hear at this time of year. Just don't do Christmas. Just don't make it such a big deal. Just don't bake the cookies. And while the intent might be supportive, the impact often isn't. For many mums, these activities are or used to be joyful. They're meaningful, memory-filled parts of the season. They stopped being fun, not because the activity changed, but because everything surrounding it became too heavy. So just don't do it removes the part that brings joy and leaves you with everything that drains you. That's not relief. Here's the truth. We won't fix mental load distribution overnight. This work is long-term. It's deeply patterned, layered across generations and expectations. But there's another truth we often overlook. You deserve relief now. Not when everything is perfect. Not when your partner fully understands. Not when the load is equalized. Now. And here's the reflection I want you to sit with. What do I want to engage with? Do I want to move forward? Or do I want to stay stuck in blaming and shaming my partner or myself? Because if we stay in victim mode, we give away all agency, all power, and with that, the possibility of change in a way that is sustainable for us, where we get a say. And here's where something deeper comes in. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed. And this is not a fatalistic worldview. It's simply how life works. We don't know how long we have. And while that can feel unsettling, it can also be clarifying and deeply motivating. It can pull us out of waiting mode. It can nudge us out of postponing our own well-being until later. It can move us from passive suffering into active agency. If we keep waiting for conditions to be perfect, or if not perfect, better, before we allow ourselves relief, we might spend years holding our breath. And you deserve more than that. When you choose to move forward, even a tiny step, when you choose to take care of your own grounding and clarity first, everything shifts. You can then address the bigger systemic issue from a place of calm confidence, a place where you know your value, where you know your priorities, where you can make your case clearly without becoming defensive or overwhelmed. And you will need this energy because redistributing mental load is a long-term conversation, even with a partner who understands the necessity. So ask yourself today, what do I want for myself? What do I want for my relationship? And what do I want for my family? Not someday, but now. Your answers will tell you exactly where your next small step is. And this brings me back to something you've heard me talk about. The reverse advent for ambitious moms. It's a thing I'm doing on Instagram and YouTube. And it's not about aesthetic simplicity or a seasonal trend. It's about reclaiming space now. One small door closed each day. It can be a task, an expectation, a piece of perfectionism, a habit rooted in guilt, or in tradition, a tradition that is not serving you anymore, a role you're carrying out of obligation rather than meaning. It's only a small door every day, but sometimes small doors open into big spaces. And you deserve that space today. If you want to take a breath, notice where the pressure lives in your body, and notice what softens when you imagine letting go of just one thing. And maybe you notice that this episode or the things I said stirred something up in you. That's okay. And if you can, sit with it a little and just see what you come up with. Whether you join me for the daily reverse advent prompts or not, I want you to try this. Close one small door every day, a small release, a small shift, a small moment of agency. Let this be your season of tiny reclamations and gentler expectations. Thank you for being here today. If this episode resonated, share it with another mom who needs a moment of breath and grounding. See you next time. More you, less noise.